So what I've got here is a lock where I'm trying to explain the concept of tension control to some potential students. And what I've got here is I've got 4 keys hanging on a rubber band on the top of the keyway tension tool. These keys weigh 40 grams and it's just enough to overcome the friction on this core when it's picked. But what we will find is that if I hang that there in the lock and let the 40 grams hang, when I pop the pick in here, in this particular lock we've got a standard pin, a spool, a serrated pin, a spool pin and a standard pin. So with that light weight on there, if I pop the pick in, you can see that I can, pin 6 is loose, 5, 4, 3 is absolutely solid, which is the serrated pin, 2 is loose, and 1 was a little bit bound and freed up. But let's go back to 3. Now 3 is a serrated pin and that's absolutely solid there on the shear line, it's trapped. So being a serrated, I need to take the weight off. Normally you would back the tension control off at this stage if it was in your hand and see whether we can apply force to that pin to get it to drop. It is absolutely jammed in there. There we go, that's just freed it up a bit. Okay, so I think that serrated pin has just dropped down and it feels loose now. So let's go and find out what else needs setting. 1, 2, 3 is still loose, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3. So 3 has become stuck again. Let's give that another push. 2 and okay, so 1 was a little bit bound again. 3 is set, 4, 5, 6 now needs to be set. There we go, that's now on the shear line. And let's just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I believe that pin 3 is actually the one here that's holding us up. There we go, that's just clicked one more time now. And I believe that the lock is now rotated onto the spool pins. So we're now in a full set scenario. So this will be interesting because again, this is another opportunity where you would normally modulate the tension to be able to pick the spool pins. So let's go for that. Let's see which one we can set. Pin 2 looks like it needs to be set. And you can see, there we go, that's gone down. Pin 4 needs to be set. And I'm using too much force here to push that down. So I'm going to lift the weight ever so slightly to see whether we can get that counter rotation going and get that pin set, which I believe it's just done. Yep. So now we're just on pin 5, and if I pop the pick in and push that down, you can now see everything is gone, the full set is and counter rotation, and now the lock is actually opened. So I obviously had to modulate that tension control with the serrated pin, which was bound very heavily on the shear line, and then the other pins we were able to set without interfering too much with the weights. So 40 grams is hardly anything at all, but it just shows you what you can get away with, or how little weight you can get away with to get a lock open with some quite significant security pins.